Yo, episode 2.
Episode 2, we made it.
Woo.
Here we
Devin
are.
Motherfucking Booker, man. Wet like I'm Book. Oh my god, dude.
I literally tweeted out that ever since Drake hit that line, man, he been wet ever since. I mean, he was already wet, but like,
Yeah, I just gave him the power, dude. I think Drake might just be that guy that just starts feeding people lines, and they're like, all right, I got the confidence to do whatever the hell, man. Dude, it was so fun to watch yesterday. My god.
fun to watch, and I was so excited to record this. I'm not gonna lie, like,
Yeah,
so many ideas. I was just of course. The storyline is the triple double.
yeah,
Devin Booker, first Western Conference Finals. I mean, we know that. That's fine.
yeah.
But before we get to it, I have to continue my intros. You know, you got to get to know Desi and Cyrus. So naturally, I got something for you, Des.
Son of a bitch. Let's go.
Well, this is an easy one again. It's a little play on our pickup, so a little continuation of that. Okay. I want to know. Give me your shooting percentages from the floor. I need to know what I can work with when we're facilitating to you in our pickup basketball. I need to know what you're at from layups, free throw percentages, mid-range, and three-point shot, especially with Ben Simmons in the mix. Like, God. I need to know what I'm getting in this pickup.
I know this is about Suns, but I want to touch on the psyche behind an athlete at some point today.
Okay, so, we'll revisit that.
Yeah. I think we have to. All right. All right. I love this one. Thank you. The last one was like, shit, man, I could have done something so much better.
That's the best part of it, man.
Yeah. I actually kind of dig it, though. It's cool. All right. So I'm gonna say layup percentage. So I'm 5'6". You know, it's gonna be hard for me to take people to the rack. So I'm gonna say I'm in the 80s only because only layups I'm getting is because it's fast break and I'm beating people because I'm fast as fuck, boy. So we got that. So I'm gonna say free throw. I'm not a great free throw shooter, so I would probably say like in the 60s, low 70s. Mid range. I'm going to say high 30s or mid 40s.
And this is pickup for everyone that's listening. This is not NBA. We're doing pickup percentages.
This is at the park for me at least. I'm 35 with a bunch of other dads. Like this is me.
Oh, okay. Love it. Love that you set up your game. So.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And then 3-point. I would say like it's developed. I mean, all I did this past pandemic was just play basketball by my damn self. So I would say it's probably high 30s.
Okay. And then when a defender gets in front of you, it's probably like 10 to 12%. You know, that's just how it goes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, the only thing that I'm getting off defenders is that mid range. Like I love the way Book and Chris Paul kind of go around that the elbows. I run elbows all the time. So yeah, that's me. Now like Dame status, I'm like 5%. I'm not shooting from half court like it's nothing. Like that's just not me.
Hell yeah.
But all right, what about you?
Okay, so in the paint, I can actually finish pretty well. So I'm probably like 85% around the rim. I miss a gimme here and there, but for the most part, I'm gonna get that down there.
Yeah, you got a nice drop step.
That's my signature move. So if you're playing defense against me, I'm gonna get the first drop step on you, and then after that, like I'm a little lost.
Yeah, I know what you're about to do.
Mid range, actually, I work on mid range a lot. So probably like a 50%. I probably make 50% of those shots.
Okay.
Layups and fast breaks, I'm good for usually. I hate playing with contact. So if you foul me, I'm gonna miss. There's no and one for me. I'm usually gonna miss that. Free throw, I've done. So when I was a kid, there was like this rumor of like, okay, if you shoot 10 free throw shots and if you make more than 7 of them, you're better than Shaq at shooting free throws. I used to like that is ingrained in my mind. So when I'm like, I actually go and try and figure out what my shooting percentage from free throw line is. I literally sit there and take 10 shots. And I sit in the 7 to 8 made range because I actually have a rhythm and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Not that anyone cares, but you know. And then 3-point percentage, 25%. I'm a streaky guy from 3. Like if I see one go in, then I might see more go in. But if I don't get the first or second one to drop, then I pass away. And shout out to Roy. Roy can speak to this. We play a lot of pickup games over here in the DC area, and he's like, oh. He caught one, then he's gonna get more. And then he missed one. No. He passed that ball, pass that ball. Which is perfect, right? Because this leads us into some of the game talk I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Do we want to go straight to kudos to Devin Booker, or should we save that? I mean, I got the Valley jersey on for anybody that decides to watch. I mean, you have to put it on. You have to rep Dev.
So before we get into that, because I mean, that's obviously, I mean, there's something that Stephen A said this morning. I mean, obviously, when people hear this is the day after game one. But Stephen A said something that is pretty damn controversial that I want to get your take on. Yeah, you heard it? Okay.
I did.
Cool.
So,
okay.
Perfect.
All right. So what I want to start with first is, like, in the first quarter, like, we were super streaky. The thing that I'm really proud of is that we kept shooting. We did not do well from three in the first, 10 minutes of the first quarter. And I would have thought like a really younger team would have gotten their head, but I do believe that the leadership, the veteran leadership, obviously Chris Paul, Monty, like, there's something there that it's like, keep going. And I really, really respect it. I don't know what your thoughts were on that, but I was happy to see that they kept hustling on defense, getting the ball and kept shooting. And then obviously things were wet from that point.
Yeah, actually, it's awesome that you brought that up because during the game, so DeAndre Ayton was mic'd up. And one of the coolest things so like, he's not known to be this veteran presence yet, right? It's obviously growing, and I've noticed that they keep miking him up versus other players. So like, there is something there. Like, he must have some type of leadership voice that's guys are respecting. One thing he said to campaign was keep shooting. He said keep shooting, Cam. And I was like, you know what? He's picking up. He's picking up from Chris. He's picking up from Jay. He's picking up from the coaching staff. Like, this is dope. So you noticed it as a fan. I heard it and say it, and it stuck with me. I think it's really cool. And I agree. Our first quarter, it just showed that we had a week off, and I kind of expected it a little bit.
Yeah.
But kudos to Paul George, man. He lit us up. I think he dropped 12 in the first quarter. Like, bro, he's in a rhythm. Like, and obviously you play 7 games against tough teams. Like, these shots, it's going to come to you with kind of a second nature at this point, because you're deep in the playoffs and you got over the pandemic P, you got over the whatever titles. He's listening, and he's
like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all. Like, I'm here. And then Kawhi goes out and he stepped up. So, I'm not going to be a homer as much as I want to be this episode. I will say congrats. The Clippers are tough, man. Like, and they showed that throughout the whole game. I know we played really well, but there's something. There's 2 things I actually want to, instead of being so positive, I actually kind of want to pick up on some negatives that I saw, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, let's hit it.
So 2 big things for me. First one was, and as a Suns fan, you argue it, but for me, I picked up right on the way. I noticed Nick Batum messed with campaign, and we got a technical foul.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I was like, I get it. He's doing a smart thing. Ref's gonna call it right in front of him, and I was mad that Cam just didn't like walk away. Like, why did he swipe at his arm? He didn't have to do that. Yeah, that shows me like there's still some mental mind growth, and he kind of got Chris Paul, if you will. Like, Nick Batum pulled a Chris Paul. What's your thoughts on that? Because that was my first bad take. Because like, early in the game, your mentality should be a lot stronger than swiping at. He's doing that on purpose. Come on.
Yeah, because I feel like, and if I'm being perfectly honest, like, I thought Nick Batum was out the league, and I'm seeing him, I'm like, holy crap! Like, how old is he? I don't even know how old he is.
I think he's 33.
Okay, so he's 2 years younger than me. I mean, the dude's been in the league.
He's been in the league a long time. Like, when he played at Portland, it felt like a long time ago. And he made a bunch of money in Charlotte and didn't play.
Yeah. So when I saw that too, like, it was disappointing, because to me, like, when we look at player development, I mean, I remember campaign when he played next to Russ, like, they had their dance together and stuff like that. So like, I had gotten a bunch of feedback from others that are like, this dude doesn't play at an elite level. And to see him show up and to see the way that he played, I was really excited for him. I want him to do well. I mean, my brother's left-handed, so naturally I want lefties to do well. And so when I saw that, I was like, all right, like, that's a little bit of his immaturity coming out here. And at the same time, like, dude, you got to be stoic here. You can compete, but you got to have the mindset of a stoic person throughout this, because you can't do stupid shit. I mean, who's our number 2 point guard after him? I mean, we tried a bunch of people.
It didn't work.
Obviously we saw that Book can distribute and do everything. Like, so he could probably pick that up. but we don't need him to do that. We need him being able to come off the ball. We need him to be able to create shots. And so when I saw that,
get his own shot, like he takes pressure off a Book when he does his drive to the lane or pulls his threes, and exactly what you said. So he should have been stoic, and he was when he took the hit from Batum and everything.
Yeah,
fine. Batum was grabbing you, fine. As soon as he lost it when he swiped, and that I was like so upset. I was like, dude, come on, like this is so early in the game. Like this is the first game. Let's not do that. You're better than that. I know he plays with a lot of passion. He actually reminds me of playing like Anthony and him have a similar game. Anthony, for everyone that's listening, is Desi's brother. They like have the same type of passion on the court. So I get it. I've played with a guy like that in a pickup game, so I understand it. But at the same time, he's one of the older guys. He's 26, where a lot of our core is 24 and younger. So like, and I know 26 isn't old, especially for our team, but I know he hasn't been in this situation, but I think he has worked his way to a level of respect where he was out the league. And now people are like, man, he was in contention for 6th man of the year at one point. Like he was talked about. So just hold yourself to a higher standard. I think the best word you used was stoic. Yeah.
Cause I think there's another piece there too. And like, dude, I think probably you and I have had side discussions about this, but I do want to present this as like, as someone who started officiating like right after high school, and like I really loved the game that much that I just wanted to be in it. Like I can also see it from an official standpoint. I have never liked DeMarcus Cousins ever. Like the dude is an asshole. Like, listen, man, like just play. I get it. You're not getting calls, and also like, dude, you don't play great defense. Like you're slow. And sloppy.
You played great offense, though. I will say, hey, he came in. I was like, oh, I got a little scared.
I did. Go ahead. That three ball, I was like, you guys, come on.
I'm like,
you cannot let him get going. And then he dunked, and I was like, oh,
dunked all over Sarge, made a freaking meme out of him.
And then like he gave the elbow to him, like, oh, dude, like, just someone else on the bench. And this is why I like started looking at like other people that could come in and just try to enforce. And I don't know about you. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, who's our enforcer outside of Jay? Like, I don't like who else do we have? I mean, I feel like we need someone to go in like, all right, let me go butt heads with this dude because this is not okay.
I don't think we have it. I will say, I'll tell you what we do have. We don't have a second enforcer. What we do have is DeAndre Ayton, who's not getting bullied. Like, I don't know if you noticed, Monty, he saw it, and he actually kept Ayton in for a few more minutes than he normally would when Cousins was still on the floor. And I loved it. I think he said, okay, if you're going to run Cousins and try and play that bully ball game, do it against Ayton. Let me see you do it against Ayton. And he didn't. You noticed the offense kind of stalled for him as soon as Ayton came in. And then he went off and rested, which was fine. But I think maybe next season that's something they look for. Do we need it right now? We'll see. Right. I mean, I think with Crowder and then when Chris Paul gets back, you have two guys. You have the guy that can manipulate the game in the refs with Chris Paul. You have the guy that'll push somebody else in Jay Crowder. And then you have DeAndre Ayton, who I've said this for the entire time I've watched him, is he doesn't flop and he is strong. Like, he's a really strong guy because people don't just bully him. I think I've seen him bullied once, and it was against Embiid, and that's naturally going to just happen because Embiid is. I mean, he's like 7-something, 270. Like, it's crazy. So, I do want to go to the second thing I had that was kind of negative. And I think you'll agree with me on this, but I still want to bring it up. And this is to give perspective. Like, we can't be there's so many positive things to talk about. And there's so many better podcasts that probably did a great job of analyzing stats and all that. So I kind of want to bring up some more fan things that kind of annoyed me. And it was the last 30 seconds of the game. And it was two things. One, we saw them shooting threes and missed. And we were like, just kind of, it almost felt like the Suns were waiting for them just to make it so that they could get the ball back, which pissed me off because it was just a level of effort that wasn't there. Two, it was that rebounding that really pissed me off. Like, there was a ball, it hit back iron, it hit like around the free throw line, and maybe the angle I was watching I was wrong, but like it looked like Ayton just didn't want to chase it, and I think Rondo got it. Or somebody.
Or Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson or Rondo. They swing it. It gets to Terrence Mann, and Terrence Mann hits a three at 20 seconds left. And I'm like, what the hell, guys? Like, come on. This is crap. Like, I'm happy we're winning, but I'm yelling. Like, don't ever give any opposing team in your home court a slice of hope. It it was like a 5-point game, and he
It
hits that
was.
shot, and then it's a 2-point game. It was 116, 114, or 114,
Yeah.
112, or something like that. Again, for all our listeners, I'm never going to be the stat guy. I'm not going to look things up. I'm going off top of the dome. So forgive me when I'm wrong, but roll with me when I'm right.
Yeah, no, same here. Like I like those other podcasts that have the stats and the analytics and like
we're not that.
Yeah, we'll do our best, but at your comedic expense, like whatever.
Laugh at me, or like if you're listening, you're like, you're an idiot. You don't know. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm wrong. I'll take that. Go ahead and let me know in the comments or something.
No, I'm with you, dude, because I was like, I'm watching the game and I'm like, we're not up by 15. Like, why is everyone slowing down? Don't let them bring up the ball. Like, can we please put some men on this guy? And that rebound too, it seemed like it was maybe out of his reach, but he kind of like maybe he was.
He did look like
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know how.
But the effort wasn't there, and that's something I noticed, that if Chris Paul's on the floor, like we're getting that rebound. I don't care what you say. Like either Chris gets it or somebody gets it, because he just, I don't know. I think he demands that in a subconscious way when you're playing with him, and he wasn't there to close this game out, and it just made me mad a little bit. I mean, we won, so I'm happy, but it's something to pick on. I think we have to pick on something.
Yeah, because there's another level here too that I saw. It might have been an IG post, but Book was FaceTiming Chris Paul, right
at the end of the game.
Yeah, and DeAndre said something, and it seemed like they kind of made fun of him. And I had heard a story very, very early on that like Book and CP3 like get on DeAndre about just stupid mistakes,
a lot of stuff.
And there's a couple times that, like, mind you, in the playoffs, he's done phenomenal at being a great rim protector, offensive, defensive rebounds. Like, he's doing his job. And also, like, I've always had an issue with him catching the ball and being really strong with it. And there were a couple times yesterday that I was like, okay, like, he's doing a phenomenal job, but he made one or two mistakes. Like, players are going to do that. And at the same time, I think there is just on what you had talked about, when you have veteran leadership like CP3, regardless of whether he's there or not, like you want to perform better, because it's like, one, like he holds us to a different standard. Two, I don't want to hear him talk shit to me after this.
Yeah, that's a big point. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. And he will. That's another thing. Like,
I always think about like the Mario Chalmers of the world. Like, yo, you're about to get eaten.
Yo, LeBron's gonna eat you alive. That's great.
You just like look at him like, oh shit.
You know what is awesome that you brought up, and I actually kind of want to touch on this a little bit, is Ayton's hands, right? So throughout the season, I yelled at the TV so many times because there were so many times where he would just like fumble a pass, just miss a rebound, something. One thing I was watching, and I think this is a growth thing and probably speaks to some of his work now and things that you had talked about the last pod, was he secures the ball on a rebound a lot stronger than he ever did. Yeah. And I've noticed he's just going up tough now. And I think the rest of it is starting to come as well, because maybe they focus on that in practice, but like I've watched him battle for boards and he'll tip to himself, but once he gets his, like both of his hands, he's locked in, like he's not losing that ball. The thing that's come to him a little bit is the passing as well. He's starting to catch hoops, starting to like, so I think it's cool just to see the growth again that we've kind of talked about a few times now. Let's take a pause for a second from talking about the game. And I have a fun topic to ask you about. Okay. Because this is, I mean, if you're going to listen, this is what I'm going to do to Dez. I'm just hitting him with random topics. He's never ready. You can feel bad for him. It's probably my fault.
It's so funny because like we talked about at first, like, all right, we could do it once a week. And then when you hit me with like, yo, we just got to do it after the game. I'm like, yeah, we can make it happen. So I was like, my first thought was like, shit, I got to start thinking of random topics.
So again, a little more about Dez. He is a busy guy. He's an entrepreneur. He's got a whole nutrition business and a mindset business that he's helping folks out across the globe. It's a big deal. It takes a lot of time. So he doesn't have maybe all the free mental space that I do to focus on the Suns. So naturally, I'm just going to give him some heaters and see if he can swing and hit. Okay. All right. So this topic is a fun one. I want to tap into Dez's nutritional side a little bit. Because I think that's really cool, and I don't think listeners have that in other podcasts. So you win a game. You win a game like this. You win a series. Give me your celebration meal.
My celebration meal?
Yeah, what makes you happy when you get to what meal's going to satisfy that, like, yeah, I just got a W? Like, tell me. Or give me a couple.
100%. Like, and you can never go wrong, especially from a team perspective. So for me, like, you can never go wrong with like a really good Caesar salad because you need to replenish that sodium that you lost throughout all of your
Nerd.
sweat, right? So you need to do that. And then like, dude, spaghetti and meatballs, like that just seems to be such a fan favorite
Wow. Okay.
across the board. So like, I would say probably that. You know, there are times that I try to sneak in like the protein noodles, and sometimes I get away with it. And other times people are like, yo, what the hell is this, Des? But I would say probably that, man. So you need to replenish those carbs, adequate protein. Like that's where I'm going with that.
Okay.
Wait, I'm interested in yours right now, though.
Oh, mine would be junk food, absolutely. Like I'm thinking like chicken tenders or a burger, you know, something like kind of like I just burned 10,000 calories playing that game. Like I don't care what I eat right now.
Dude, let me hit you with this too, because we obviously my brothers and I have a sports chat that we're just kind of like discussing the game, along with my dad and our other brother from another mother, Josh Spears. What's up, man? Shout out to you.
Hey, shout out Jay Spears.
Jay Spears, J. Dot. So we were talking about it, and my younger brother was like, "Dude, this is perfect for Book. Like he gets some rest, he gets to go out to the club tonight." And I was thinking in my head, like, "All right,
Hold on. Pause. Keep your thought. One. Nico, you're wrong. Book's not that type of dude. Okay, continue.
So there was a comparison that Stephen A made this morning, right? And Stephen A said that Book is the next Kobe. So when I was thinking about that, and me as a sports dietitian, performance dietitian, it was like, all right, I would definitely, if I was on that squad, on that medical team, I would definitely go to him and be like, hey, what are you going to do tonight? What do champions do? And my hope is that he eats and rests. Right?
Plays video games, calls Kendall.
Yeah. And then that's what he does. And then he gets up early in the morning and trains again. Like that's my hope.
Yeah.
What do you think he did?
I actually think he FaceTime Kendall, hopped on some Call of Duty, probably ordered a pizza with his friends or family or whatever, and just chilled at the house. I really do think that he did that. Yeah. Maybe hit the pool. Obviously did all the, ice the knees, all that fun stuff. But I mean, when he's home, I think he really just chilled at home. I mean, he probably got the dopest house in Phoenix, so why not enjoy it?
I mean, he has the dopest car in Phoenix, 100%.
Exactly. So.
I saw that and I was like, dude, you're
the
baddest dude alive.
Okay, so you think do you think he did what he was supposed to do?
I hope so. Okay. I mean, I think the way that he performed and performing at a caliber level, like there is an aspect of talent, 100%, but training, mindset, sleep, like all of that stuff plays a role. I mean, these are what the
top people do in the sport. Like
echelon, right?
Kobe, LeBron, exactly. Michael's an exception, but I think he did this as well. The champion, the guys who win rings do this.
Yeah. They're just like, there's a part of them that is just vicious where it's like Sons in 4, like I want to bury these guys. And so I'm going to I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that my team is successful because the way that I play is going to depict how the game goes. And so,
especially not knowing if Chris is coming back yet or not.
Yeah. And
like he's coming back, folks, but we don't know when.
Exactly. Right. And so even Book said that, at the post-game commentary, he's like, obviously CP3 isn't here, so I'm distributing a lot more. I don't know what his minutes were compared to without CP3, but I can imagine that the dude needed to recover. I mean, you have a night like that, I would imagine that you take care of your body and take your ass to bed. But then I also thought, he's 26, right?
Oh, he's 24. He's 24.
24. Okay, so he's 24.
Desi is a geezer for y'all, so he's not going to know anything off the top.
Oh, God,
so
dude.
Forgive him.
Hey, 35 doesn't seem old, man, but damn, like now that you say
it's old when you don't know stats and don't know that Booker's dating Kendall Jenner. And I'm just kidding.
Now your handle should change to Stats Fan Side.
My bad, Stats Fan. There it is.
Just, but then I'm thinking, like, dude, if I had that much money and I'm the face of a city, like, I probably might go have some fun. But
I think Book has fun when, like, I think he's more of like, let me win the series and I can have some fun, and then back and forth. Let me win. I think he looks at a bigger picture because his after his response after the game, it was like, it's just game one. Like, we still got a lot of work to do.
Not done.
And we know what they're capable of. So I was like, okay. He knows what it is. Like he's locked in.
Yeah.
Really, really quickly, you brought up something cool. with mentioning how he had to be point guard this whole game. And
Mhm.
people are going to
Yeah.
talk about this and yada, yada, yada on the stats. One thing I think that's kind of cool that as a Suns fan, you would know, but if you weren't a Suns fan, you might not really know this isn't the first time point Booker has been a thing.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
they experimented this like 3 seasons ago when we really didn't have a point guard.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got the reps at this. I just think that having Chris there has kind of expanded his knowledge and range in the realm of being point guard.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's probably looking at passes and cuts from guys that he didn't consider 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
He's looking at the lob from the lob to get his triple double.
Yeah.
I think 2-3 seasons ago, Bridges passes to Booker. Booker finishes left hand layup or dunk or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he saw the defense take like a kind of a gimme step, if you will. And it was a right back and forth, right up. And I don't think you get that without, one, the growth of Booker as a player, the experience of playing point book with trash teammates, and then lastly, the unlocking of what Chris Paul brings.
Yeah.
So I saw it was really cool. I mean, I'm sure you did too, but I want to bring that up, that this isn't a new thing. It's just more of a perfected thing at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was beautiful to watch too. I mean, he's coming off picks, especially at those elbows too. Like he's beating guys and then he's sort of using his leverage with them behind him to choose whether he wants to throw that lob, get that bounce pass, or just rise up. And obviously, I mean, I don't even know what the dude shot. I think he was in the 60s or something crazy like that from the field goal percentage. But as I'm looking at it, it looks really great. And another thing that I was happy to see too is I don't know if there's a mutual respect between him and Pat Bev, but like usually Pat Bev is getting into people's head, but he couldn't.
I think there is mutual respect there. I saw something where I think Pat Bev knocked him down or something like that. It was a dumb foul, and he gave him actually a pat on the head or back. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're dogs and they fight each other in the game, but like, it's a competitive thing. It's not a I hate you thing. Whereas I do think him and Paul George still don't like each other.
Yeah.
And it was kind of dope to see them duke it out in that third quarter. I was like, okay, this is what the Western Conference is all about.
I loved it. I didn't think that was a foul. Like, I think they're just fighting for position.
Yeah, I agreed.
Like you got to have, like, I don't know, read the room. Like guys are competing right now. Like he's not in the form of shooting. Like he's trying to get open and Book is playing defense. Like I didn't think that was a foul, but whatever. I don't.
It is what it is. I mean, it's the Western Conference Finals, and who knows? The refs feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I got one more fun topic for you.
All right.
I think this is another cool one. And just so y'all know, Desi is a hip hop head by heart, by trait. I love all music. I definitely gear towards the hip hop and stuff, but I kind of wanted to have this topic for Des to let him have some fun with it again, just so you get to know him a little better. And then maybe you'll get to know me. Maybe I'll change mine to mysterious fan side or something. I feel like the listeners will get to know you more than me.
Keep you guessing.
Okay, so here you go. This is a fun one. It's a 2-part question, so I'll start with the first part.
Okay.
First part. You're in your home arena. Give me a couple songs that you want to hear playing when you're warming up and maybe during the game or halftime. What songs are going to pump you up? No Joe Budden. What songs are going to really give you that, that extra? Pump it up. If I had a soundboard, I would have played that right now.
Well, side note, I mean, I don't know about you, but going to the games too.
That too. Absolutely.
The soundboard is amazing.
Maybe one day, if you guys support and like us, we'll get one.
Yeah. So that'll be something down the line. So I'm definitely go with Money Trees. I mean, that for me is.
I knew Kendrick was coming.
I knew Kendrick was coming, bro. That's for me. So like, I'm gonna say Money Trees for sure. God. All right. Can it cuss? Or does that have to be?
Yeah, no, I can do it. This is your stadium. This is you.
This is my stadium. Okay.
Yeah, this is for you.
So I'm gonna definitely go Money Trees. Okay. Let's see here. New J.
I mean, there's so many songs, so this can change, folks. But just off the top, like what comes straight to your mind? And I love Money Tree pick. So
yeah, Money Tree is amazing right now. The Climb Back for me, like that's on repeat right now for me. Like that I love that track. Let's see what else.
Is there like some trap rap in there for you? Is there like a?
Yeah, I mean,
is there some old school rap that gets it for you? Like, is there some?
I would say honestly, anything Tupac going on for me is going to be a big one. Black Republicans would get me hyped.
Okay.
A little bit of Nas and Jay. Yeah, anything from Nas is gonna get me too. I'm trying to think songs that I just like love.
How about that Drake and Future? I got a really big team and we need some really big rings. Is that doing it for you?
No, it's not. It's not.
And
like,
there you go, listeners. That's the difference between me and Desi.
Yeah, and I know you're a Drake head. All right, J Dot and myself, Josh, what up again? We've had arguments about this and like what's pop music and who's better and who's not. It's like I like Drake. I just don't ride with him the way that you guys.
Well, you have to now. He gave Book that shout out. You have to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that a little bit of trap, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
These damn questions, man. I'm gonna have to wait. Who's yours? Hey, you know what pisses me off about these questions? They're premeditated. You already know your answers. All right, here's something new for our listeners out there. We got to hold side to this. Like, all right, come up with the questions. Don't answer them.
Okay, fine.
All right, but answer it here.
You already said I'm a Drake head at heart, obviously. Yeah. So any like 0 to 100 trophies, any of that stuff. You could probably throw a Bonfire Childish Gambino in there. I mean, for people who know me, they knew I was going to say that. Right. Honestly, I've been into the EDM stuff lately. Like, there's some songs that are really doing it for me. So like, Alana will make fun of me, but whenever we drive to the gym, when we go together, I put on these songs and I'm like, oh yeah, this would be a great cardio class song, or this is going to be a great cycle song. And I start getting hyped in the car, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm teaching a class. What do you mean? And I was like, for those type of songs, like, I don't know, something that like gets me pumping and my energy up. Like, yeah, I'm cool, man. I don't have like a specific song. The three that come to mind, and I didn't actually think of this. I swear to God, I just thought of the question. But the three that absolutely come to mind are All the Lights, Kanye. Oh yeah, Bonfire, Childish Gambino for me, and then probably like for a new song right now, I love that What's Next by Drake. So like those three just I mean, you throw them on, I'll be all right.
Yeah,
I might play good basketball.
I would definitely throw in Can't Tell Me Nothing, Kanye.
Okay,
like that's typically my my Vegas song. Anytime I fly into Vegas or drive into Vegas, I'm throwing that on.
You and Anthony both, man.
Something that we always do.
So me and Chad, shout out to Chad on this one. He would agree with Bonfire and All the Lights, because we've talked about this so many times.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's getting with me on the Drake. He might say like One Republic or something boring. Like, oh, I need to be in the zone.
Yo, I would say like on the EDM front, like Alice in Wonderland, Han Solo, like stuff like that, I think would just get me in the right mindset of having fun. Yeah, there's so much that I would say, but yeah, I would say those are probably the biggest things that I would look for. Damn, that's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about this more, man.
There is a two-part. There's a two-part.
Shit. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's not forget about the second part. Okay.
Yeah. Ones that you already came up with the damn answers for. Go.
I mean, okay, this question is just give me one song you don't want to hear the other team play.
I don't want to hear?
Yeah, like they're playing, you're like, I don't want to hear this song. Like, you don't want them to get hyped off of that.
Oh, because I'm afraid that they might like.
Yeah, like it's their juice. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I know the song for me, but like, and I didn't think of it. I thought of it right now. I promise. I swear to God. But it came to me right now because I was thinking about high school basketball. What used to pump us up. You remember that? All
right, I got mine.
Okay, go, because I gotta remember mine now. I just forgot. Just that fast.
All right, I got mine. I'm gonna go with Schoolboy Q, Man of the Year.
Oh wow, you don't want to hear that? Oh, that's a great. Yeah, I don't want to hear nobody song. Play that against me.
It's like, oh shit.
Oh man, that's a good one. I forgot what I was gonna say. That sucks. It was a song from high school basketball. I don't. Okay, I know what song I wouldn't want to hear the other team play. That's actually more recent. Future March Madness. I don't ever want to hear that if I'm playing somebody else.
Yeah.
Because that's going to get somebody going. And I'm not trying to guard that guy. You know who would agree with me? This would be a Jarrell, Ronnie, maybe Daniel. Shout out to all our friends that would listen. This is for y'all. Y'all would agree with me. You don't want to hear your opponent play March Madness. Like, I'm just not. I'm going to have to foul you or like get a tee right off the jump just to set you off and not have you in that locked in zone. So.
Dude, there's another one too that used to get us. It was Breathe In, Breathe Out, but I think it might have been.
Are you talking about Fabulous?
No, Was it? I thought it was Saint Lunatics.
Okay, that song. I was thinking about that 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
No,
You know,
yeah.
that Fab song.
No, yeah. I think it is Saint Lunatics. I'm trying to find it right now, but I can't. Yeah, I would say those songs are the ones. So I remember playing in different places where I'm like, oh, shit.
It came to me. I remember the other song from high school. You
What is
probably
it?
heard this way too many. Remember that song, We Ready?
We ready.
Ready. I don't want to hear nobody play that. No, y'all are not ready. I'm about to drop 40 on you. Go away. Dev Booker triple double on your head.
Yeah, but I would say that the things that I would make fun of is definitely the Joe Buttons. I mean, there are schools that you went to that I was like, God, you guys listen to trash music.
I love his podcast, but man, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, like
I don't know. He kind of turned me off when he started talking shit to
Chance.
Oh boy, yeah, Chance.
Oh no, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it. I already heard this conversation.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do that on air. We're not gonna do that on air.
Man, we all talk, man. We're like the same people almost, dude. It's crazy.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so bring it back to basketball. Game 2 is coming, right?
Ooh, what do you want to see for you? Okay,
sure. But Game 2 is coming. What's like the one player you want to see them do some that you haven't already seen, and like what is it that you want to see?
All right, so this is actually one of the questions I was going to ask you. Like, what matchup changes do you think that we need to ride the way that we are right now? Because we did get a win, mind you. Paul George showed out. Like I mean, he's in playoff form right now, like championship form. Is there a matchup change that you want to see? Because for me, I was like, the Clippers are running comparably small, right?
Yeah.
And so if we want to attack the boards, to me, like defense and boards are usually the things that I feel from a basketball perspective that really sets the tone. And then I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, like I hate mentioning his name because I just have so much hatred for him because he went to Wisconsin. Bear down.
Yeah, bear down always. Always.
Bear down.
I feel some type of way. I'll never forgive him.
Yeah, ever. I'm just like, dude, fuck you.
He could hit the winning shot for the Suns, and that might forgive him. So that might never ever happen. So he's never gonna get forgiven.
But I'm gonna still like be cheering and hugging other Suns fans and be like, dude, fuck Frank.
Yeah, fuck Frank Kaminsky. Go Suns. Bear down, bitch.
But I don't know, man. Like he hasn't gotten a big.
He hasn't got any rotation minutes in the playoffs. Yeah.
No, like
is that somebody you're looking for then?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that too. Like if we can attack the boards that way and the dude can shoot the three, I just don't know if he's such a huge defensive liability.
I think he is.
Okay.
I think he's got worse feet than Gobert, and that would get exposed on a pick and roll and the swings to the corners or the top of the threes. Yeah. I don't know that he's going to be a great fit just because of that. Yeah, I hear you on the rebounding end and even the offensive end. I think he would actually provide a little bit of boost, but I think his defensive liability is one of those things where he goes in, they go on an 8-0 run, and we just dug ourselves a hole for no reason.
Yeah. All right. So is that why you don't think he's getting a lot of rotation minutes? Because he's
absolutely
liability.
Yep, I definitely think so. But speaking of the matchup thing, so two things, right? If Marcus Morris is actually hurt and has a knee issue. Mm-hmm. I mean, it sucks for the Clippers. It's great for us because they actually lose a sizable defender that can kind of switch through at least 3 through 5 for the most part because he is a strong guy.
Yeah.
If he's not playing, maybe you do get Kaminsky in there for a few minutes to relieve Ayton. I think the one time I would put Kaminsky in is if what's his name? DeMarcus Cousins actually gets to play.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of the same speed. He will get bullied, but like that's you can get some 3-4 fouls out of Frank if you want to like make DeMarcus kind of frustrated. Yeah. So that might be a strategy to use. One thing I want to see is probably more minutes from Payne. I don't think E'Twaun Moore is ready for the stage. He didn't look great. I would actually give his minutes.
Really scared.
He looked awful.
He looked really scared.
Really bad. I would give his minutes to Javon Carter if you're going to just use somebody to relieve Payne to give him some rest. Why not give Carter the go? Carter plays hard defense. He could shoot the three with a lot more confidence than Moore can. I know that he's not a great facilitator, and I know he doesn't have the size to defend a lot of the positions, especially with the way that the Clippers play. But if you're asking me, I would like what we're doing, especially without Chris. And if Chris isn't there for game 2, I would rather see Javon Carter get some minutes rather than E'Twaun Moore. That would be my take.
All right. Do we know what the actual COVID protocol? So in the bubble, obviously it was 10 to 14 days.
Still that.
Okay. So I mean, he's vaccinated. They haven't given us an actual timeline. They said it might be shorter. That's correct, right?
That's correct. Monty said
Okay.
last night, day to day was still the status. So that is what we have to kind of go by. I'm hoping like tomorrow they'll tell us that.
So all right, let me give you some insight into like medical team. Haven't been on one too. From a fan perspective, like you're trying to make sense of like, is this gamemanship? 100% it is. 100% it is.
It's Chris Paul, so yes.
Yeah.
He's probably bought into that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. The medical team knows when he's coming back. 100%. So like, there's an aspect of me that is like, okay, let's see if through the protocol, let's see if we can get 2 games here in Phoenix, and let's send you off when we go to LA. But I just from a medical team perspective, I'm kind of just thinking like they already know the timeline. Now it's gamemanship. Like, when do we actually need you? Because like he has been rehabilitating an injury. So it's like, this is time where if we know we can get buckets and wins, like let's preserve you for what we're truly going for, which is getting out of this conference or getting out of to the finals. Right. So
I think a lot of fans will, I respect what you're saying. I think a lot of fans will really disagree heavy though, because if you have the chance to protect home court, you do it. And who gives you the best chance to protect home court? It's Chris Paul. Playing gives you the best chance. So is if you think about it. So two cool things. This is a stat for, even though I've claimed not to be the stat guy, I do remember this.
Dude, change your handle already. All right?
Whatever, man. I'm flip flopping, right? 8-0 on a playoff run right now. 8-0. So since game 3, they haven't lost a game. And the Suns have never. I don't think they've lost more than, I don't know the number for this one. Maybe I'm going to say 6 in a row during the season. Yeah. Just those odds says they're not going to lose 6 games in a row going forward. So if you only win home court, you won that series. Same can go for maybe the finals. Excuse me. So take that into consideration. I hear what you're saying. I agree. Chris should get as much rest as he can, especially the shoulder did look fine in the last series, but you just never know because it was a weird stinger. And, as much time can heal, especially if it was a bruised shoulder or bruised whatever, it's just better for him. But I would say if he's ready to go and healthy, one thing, we need him because he gives us the best chance of winning. 2, he's a competitor, Des. Don't forget that. He wants to be out there. He's not gamesmanship aside, he wants to play. Like, this is the one time he hasn't really been there, and he wants to get it done. So I would say, especially if it makes sense for him to get out there and play on game 2, then please do. No fan's going to disagree with that.
Yeah. And I understand what you're saying too. I mean, this is kind of like our transition into this Ben Simmons stuff, like the mindset of an athlete. I totally understand where you're coming from. And I can imagine that the medical staff is having conversations about just longevity of getting into how deep their run is. And then like,
especially if you had COVID, right?
Like, exactly. Like,
because that could affect breathing. We've seen it with Jason Tatum this season, a couple other guys.
Exactly.
So good point. Really good point, actually. So please speak more to that. And I definitely want to hear your mentality thing as well.
Because like, I think there's a big piece here too. Like, we're still getting like information about what it does, especially to professional athletes, like post COVID. And so I think the medical team is likely looking at a trajectory of like, hey, what's going to keep you the safest in the long run? This is basketball aside. Like, let's make sure that we do this properly. Let's get the testing that we need and everything else. And so I think from that aspect, that's another thing that we need to think about. Now, from the mindset perspective, I can totally understand where you're coming from, which transitioned us into this Ben Simmons thing. My God, man, like to see someone implode in the way that I've seen it, like I've been pissed off at him because you've had 5 seasons to do something in the offseason, like develop.
I said it yesterday. I said that yesterday to friends. Like, I would be mad if I was his teammate. Why are you not working on your shot?
Yeah.
Like, why are you not working on your shot? And real quick, I'll point out that, and I'll let you get back to your thoughts. One cool thing that I heard on actually, I want to say the Ringers podcast, because I listened to that this morning, was Kevin O'Connor made a really good point, and he said Ben Simmons actually has improved on things that he was bad at or known to be, like, because he was not known to be a good defender. He's known to be lazy coming out of LSU and even in his first season when he actually played. But now he's all NBA defense. So we know he can improve on something. But my question is, why haven't you worked on one of the things that would make you a triple threat on the offensive end and kind of leave some of the pressure from the defense that they expect out of you? Why have you not worked on your shot at all? That's what it seems from a fan perspective. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like
No.
you haven't worked on your shot at all. And now you're at the point where you don't even take shots. I mean, every outlet's going to talk about this, but let's talk about the mindset. Because not everybody's going to give us the mentality piece of it. And I want to hear what you got, because you've dealt with professional athletes. For those that don't know, Desi has worked with MLB guys in their off season to not only strengthen them from a nutritional perspective and a training perspective, but actually a mindset perspective. That's a part of his business and something he's expanded in his entrepreneurship. So he's not coming from a place of novice. He has expertise in kind of helping with mindset for the average person as well as a professional athlete. So please speak on that.
So like every team is going to invest in sports psych. Like there's going to be a huge department behind that. Right. And what was really great is getting to collaborate with them. And so when we look at the mind of an athlete, like we can help and prepare them for really, really tough times. We can help and prepare them for pressure. What they do with it due to past conditioning plays a huge role. Now, if we look at the Sixers, I mean, I think Jay Will said like, hey, the Sixers should put on a $35 Father's Day masterclass with how to implode in the fourth quarter. I was freaking dying when I heard that. But
sad, but true.
But it's true. But based off of past conditioning, based off of your past experiences, you're going to know that you guys are going to implode at some point. And so for him,
so it's almost an expectation. It's
almost an expectation. This is why, like, oh my God, mindset needs to be such a huge thing that everyone needs to learn. This is why, like, staying in the moment, like Michael Jordan talked about this, like mindfulness, like staying in this moment right now and not thinking about the future or the past is so imperative, because like if you like everyone's talking about this, right? He had that like drop step, could have dunked it.
Yes. And he passed to Matisse Thybulle of all people. Like, that's not a score on your squad.
It's not. And my mindset was like, oh my God, is this dude afraid of getting fouled as he dunks it and has to step on the free throw line, which it's abysmal. And he doesn't want to be a part of them losing because of that reason. And I'm thinking more and more about it. I'm like, dude, oh my God. Like, I just think it's very likely that he probably hasn't put in the work in to develop that mid-range game that we're all looking for, to develop his free throw, three ball, like everything. I also think there's a piece of him too, is like, he's gotten up to this point where he's just trying to figure it out without having to do some real work. And that's not to say he's not in the gym, but
yes, I think he's in the gym. I just think he's working on the wrong things.
Yeah.
And that's what gets that's what gets me upset as a fan. I would say, how much weight do you put on the guys that are surrounded by him? Not his teammates, like the guys he's going to training camp with. Like, do you think it's important to have those guys boosting not only your training from a physical standpoint, but like that mental piece that you're talking about?
I do. We talked about Chris Brickley this last pod, man. I mean, I see him in what Chris is posting. Like, he's playing with the guys. I just don't know what he's doing outside of that. There's a difference between going and getting runs with the best and training with the best. So I'm just kind of wondering if like he's taking training with LeBron. I'm kind of wondering if he's doing the things that he needs to do in order for him to get to a point where he has the confidence to do this. Because we started this pod with joking around, like with the heat check. I think on his end, he's just not doing it. Like, it's the opposite. Like, he's like, oh, that didn't work, I'm not shooting today.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because we're seeing it play out and it gets worse and worse, right? Usually the stories get better and better as people kind of develop within their career. And on this one, it's like a number one pick, and he's known, he's not a bad player by any means. It's just something like, he's got the skills and the tool set, but like you said, it is a mentality thing. I really do hope it gets better for him. I hope if getting out of Philly is the right move, then I hope that happens. If staying in Philly is the right move, then maybe like the franchise can make that work too. I'm not a Philly fan. I'm very unbiased against them. Like, I don't have anything good or bad to say. I just from loving the NBA and loving the players and the competitiveness, I'd like to see Ben at his best level and hope for the best.
I also kind of think about this too, man. And his name is escaping me right now, but I'm sure you Markelle Fultz. There you go. Look,
same thing.
Success is in the details.
Remember the shooting mechanics.
Success is in the details, right? And so,
but what franchise did that happen at?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like, to me, it's like, all right, like, it's on him. And also, like, who's the medical and development staff that is not doing their job?
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I look at it.
Great point. I mean,
yeah, I look at it and I'm like, dude, I feel for him because I mean I can imagine that if I was him, I would stay off social media, I would stay off ESPN,
I mean,
and I would
he's like 24. He's not going to do that.
he's not going to do that. So
And
he's
it's just going to rot his brain even more with this crap.
Exactly. So he's seeing that. But on the other end of this, like, let's talk about also someone who's not having that issue. Mother freaking Trae Young. Dude,
I knew you were going to say that. I was about to say it too. I was like, hey, man, you know who's got the right mindset and who's a dog mentality that we've been talking about is Ice Trae the gang, man.
Bro, like, damn, that dude is like
he didn't even play that great last night. Like, he did not play a closeout game that we kind of expected from him because he would not like he did in the Knicks series or early on in this series, but he was still effective from the floor doing other things. He's playing aggressive, and that's something that Ben Simmons shied away from. He looked for other opportunities, whether it was like attacking the rim, still going up with his floater. He could have been like 3 for 13. He still kept doing it. And then getting other guys involved like Herter or John Collins or what's their centers, Capella on the oops and stuff. Like, you know, credit to Nate McMillan turning that franchise around midway through the season. They were 14-20, if I remember correctly, and now they're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's crazy.
And they're not even at full strength. They lost Cam Reddish. They lost Hunter during this playoff run. Bogdanovich has not been super healthy. Gallinari hasn't even been super healthy through the season. I mean, I think they have a strong locker room. They have guys like, shout out Solomon Hill, bear down. I think that I want to actually bring this up because I was wondering what you thought about it. And this is going to be a little bit of a homer piece. Is Arizona guys, like coming from Arizona, are like really good locker room guys for the most part, whether they're good NBA players or not. Maybe the exception is Aaron Gordon because he went top 5. He comes off as a little bit of a prima donna, but guys like TJ McConnell kind of bring winning culture and good locker room from everything we've heard. Also, Philly shouldn't have got rid of him.
I know.
A guy like Solomon Hill has been a journeyman NBA guy, but I've noticed that every franchise he's gone to has actually done well, maybe minus the stint in New Orleans. But even then, when he was there, I think that's when they made the playoffs. They had Rondo and Davis and Cousins. He went to Memphis, kind of elevated that squad. He was in the finals last year with the Heat. He even got minutes. Like, he's not somebody that's like, okay, we're not going to talk about Solomon Hill all the time. But it does say something when those kind of guys continue to go around the league and elevate your team. And I think it ties back into your mindset thing is they bring the right mindset and culture into the locker room to help the guys who are the most talented showcase and be the most talented on the floor. What do you think about that? I mean, Solomon Hill's the guy that's just, it's kind of recency bias and who I was thinking about, but
no, I would definitely agree. I mean, you kind of think, I mean, aside from Aaron Gordon, I don't think, at least from our generation, I don't really consider like Bibby part of mine because I was such a young kid at that time. So like,
same. I'm thinking like 2000s plus. Like I'm thinking
exactly like
Gilbert Arenas, even with the gun thing, was actually like his teammates loved him. Richard Jefferson got a championship. Channing Frye got a championship, and those guys, Andre Iguodala, still in the league and always elevating the teams he's gone to. Like there's I think it's more of an exception than a rule, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that a majority of the guys that we've seen in our era from Arizona have done this. And I think it's because they come from Arizona. Like, I think that helps. Like they've learned the right mindset. They've learned the right processes and pieces. But a guy like Ben Simmons, who went to LSU, who's not a basketball school, he doesn't have those intangibles or those small little things that people kind of miss. Like the guys from Duke have had good careers in the NBA is because they came from Duke. Like they're not always the stars, but basketball programs are programs. It's not always about individual talent, in my opinion.
No, I would definitely agree. I mean, you kind of think about, I think Kentucky's probably a bit of an outlier because you go there for a year. It's a culture of you're going to be a star in the NBA. I mean, I saw one of their newest recruits stood in front of like this mural that they have there of all of their prolific players. I'm like, shit, man, Kentucky's had a lot of really great studs. They're like the Alabama.
They have Devin Booker, in case you didn't know. Devin Booker went to Kentucky. Wasn't even a stud there. Look at him now.
Yeah. I think there's an aspect to it. I think team culture plays a huge role, and just going back to Solomon Hill. I mean, I think it was Nerlens.
No, we don't got to go back. We don't got to go back to Solomon Hill. Here, let me tie it back to the Suns, and let me get back into one more thing. Mindset still related, and
Yeah.
bringing it all back into the Suns because we care about the Suns. We don't care about Solomon Hill. Sorry,
Fair
Solomon. Mentality. Let's keep on this topic, but I want to bring it back. So, mentality piece. Speak to this. Devin Booker, not all-star off the bat.
Oh my
Devin
God.
Booker, not all NBA. Monty Williams, not coach of the year. Mikal Bridges, not on any all defensive NBAs. The only guy that made it was Chris Paul on the second team all NBA, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it's because, I mean, he's Chris Paul, he's a legend, but
Mm-hmm.
the only thing we barely got right now is executive of the year, James Jones. And ironically, freaking people are still writing about Ryan McDoof or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we crediting James Jones for the remarkable work he's done?
Mm-hmm.
So let's tie back to that mentality. What do you think folks are saying in that locker room when they see all this stuff, but all the stuff that the media and folks that are voting on these kind of things is presenting is not correlating to basketball because our basketball is winning? Speak to that.
5 freaking words. We are taking this personal. Like, I think that has
Chip
to
on the shoulder.
Tip on the shoulder, man. I think that has to be in anywhere in the locker room, anywhere in the meetings. Like, you end it with, hey, this is what everyone has said. And just all the people that you just mentioned right there, these are all the snuffs that we have experienced. Like, we are taking this personal. We are not going to go to social media about this. We are going to go get a ring. And this is what this means to us.
Who do you think says that? Who sets that tone?
Well, I think it honestly starts with Monty. I think he's probably the first person saying this, but even more so, I think Book is probably fucking pissed. I would be pissed if I was him.
I'd be irate.
Irate, dude. Like, you got it. Like, for real, someone gets injured, like, oh, here you go. Like, no, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. Actually, my knee hurts. yo, I hurt.
I'm gonna go visit Kendall. Like, let's go. Goodbye.
And there are definitely like, there are arguments against it, and putting the homer bias aside, I get it. Like, the coach of the year thing was actually 50-50 for the most part between him and Tibbs.
Right?
Yeah, it was Tibbs, and Tibbs was expected to do a lot less because he has a lot less. But Monty doesn't have some winning reputation behind him. He doesn't have. I mean, last year we won 30-some games. We didn't even really make the playoffs. The biggest thing Monty had last year was 8-0 in the bubble.
Yeah.
So coming into this season, he doesn't have some huge reputation. And the way he did things in the West, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, injuries, yada, yada, yada. Well, LeBron wasn't injured the whole time. AD wasn't injured the whole time. Kawhi and PG were playing that whole time. Jokic was an MVP. Dame and CJ were playing. I mean, the injuries have happened. Don't get me wrong. And I think the Suns have been one of the healthier teams, and that has helped. Yeah. But it wasn't a fluke. We won 51 games.
Yeah.
We were like 1.5 game behind the 1 seed, like that. And the Western Conference is known as a harder conference.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're right. There's been a lot of snubs, and I don't really know where I wanted to go with that, other than I wanted to speak to a little bit of the mindset. And I think you touched on it really well.
No, man, I think it's important too. I mean, you kind of look at this past game with Book, like he's out to kill right now. Like, listen, like there's going to be no doubt after this. Like, I'm not here to play. I'm not here to waste my time. What up, Dame?
I think we mentioned this last episode, but I think finally the bar is being set, and now people are having expectations that they probably didn't have because they didn't watch the Suns before. But the main stage helps. I guarantee next year we're going to have a lot of NBA on TNT games, a lot of ESPN games. I think
no more on Bally's.
no more on Bally's, no more NBA TV or pay-per-view or wherever they put us. Although I do love hearing Ernie Johnson announce games or Eddie Johnson. I do like hearing him, but I think we're getting a lot more mainstream games, which is cool.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on an hour, and I don't want to bore anybody if they're still listening. If you are, thank you so much. If you're not and you left, you're cool too, as long as you tapped in and tried to like it. If you're still here, please like and subscribe. We are doing this from some passion. We're just doing this for fun. We've talked about this for a long time. It's just a passion project for us, but we do want to build this. We actually want to create a community out of this. So if you have ideas that you want us to talk about, or maybe you want to jump on the pod with us, we can entertain those kind of things. So please reach out, like and subscribe to us. You can follow us on Instagram at Des and Cy Pod. You can watch on Instagram. We're going to start getting this on YouTube as well. A couple projects in the mix, but Desi, Please tell me you have something fun to end on. Otherwise, I'll get you with something.
Dude, I'm just gonna go back on the past pod when you were trying to build out our 90s and 2000s team. So I have not done that yet. But damn it, dude, that was the Matrix. Right. Like, I forgot how prolific. But let me throw someone else out there who I loved and I would put on this team, maybe even sixth man or someone like that, is Raja freaking Bell. Like I would say, like, dude, the way that he would play against Kobe and compete against Kobe, he
was a dog. He was a dog. He was an enforcer.
We were talking about the dog, right?
Yeah, we need that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm end on that.
I respect that. That's how you're going to end, but I'm not going to let you end on that. I got one more thing for you. I just thought of it. And for those listening, yes, I really am just thinking of these things. They're not written down. So you'll see on the video that I don't have it. I'll show you my whiteboard. Look at this. Look at this. The whiteboard don't got anything on it that I'm about to say. Okay. So from top of my mind, you can pick anybody. This is an easy question. 5 NBA players you have to play knockout against. Go.
That I want to
24 seconds on the shot clock starting now.
Is this everyone? Pastimes?
Anything. 5 guys.
All right. Ben Simmons. Shaq, Dwight. I'm just going to do all centers at this point.
10 seconds.
Sean Bradley. I don't even know if he was great. Damn. Oh my God. 3, 2. Charles Barkley.
1. I don't think you win. I think Charles Barkley beats you.
Yeah, I was kind of throwing someone in there that I didn't know what their field goal percentage or their free throw percentage was, but also would compete. The other guys, like, I love that. That was
good. Those were good picks, man. Off the top of your head, that was good.
Yeah.
That's our 24-second shot clock for the day.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're heading into an hour. Yeah, right on the dot.
Yep.
As always, like and subscribe. Say what up to us. We love the feedback. So if there are topics or things that you want to hear, we're open to it. Like I said, we're not experts in a whole lot of things, but one thing that we do love is just organic conversations around Suns and basketball and a little bit of culture and some other things. So thank you for listening up to this point.
Thanks so much. Catch us on episode 3. Later.